Record. Hold on. Kitty, you're naughty. All right. Welcome, everyone. We'll do a quick segue. We all need to learn rules, right? So Kitty Cone has to learn rules, and we discipline ourselves on the mat because we have the ability to do that. We have higher order thinking. And taking time to kind of look at your habits and what you do and how you breathe is, I think, what yoga is all about. We'll start this evening on our belly. And when you get there, you can make a pillow for your head with your hands and just rest on one cheek. You won't really need too much for class tonight at all. And as you settle, right, the body's a really good informant about what you need in this moment. So, when I plan classes, I roll out my mat and start actually rolling around on the ground. Like, that's how I start. And then wherever I land is step one in the process. And then I kind of go from there. But in that process, sometimes I make it to the mat and I just lie down. And sometimes movement feels more organic. Give yourself the exact same permission to do what feels most right to you right now. Even in these brief check-ins, I just get a tiny glimpse into everyone's day, whether it's been a lot of sitting or a lot of traveling. Let the wisdom of what the body holds within reveal itself. And if you're resting on one cheek, just turn your head and rest on the other cheek. Casey, we started on our belly. And we'll get moving in just a moment for the next couple breaths here. And bring your awareness to the belly, the front body connecting to the ground. Good sounds, good big breath out. Connect to your heart beating into the mat beneath you. Feel the reverberation, the way it ripples within. When you're ready, not before then, turn your head through center, slide your forearms forward, come into a Sphinx pose. And you can wiggle around for a moment. And as you do that, just make sure that your elbows are stacked just under your shoulders, and then your arms, let them start at this like number 11 position. And depending on the condition of your shoulder girdle this evening, it might make some sense for you to angle the arms in towards each other. So you can check out where the sweet spot is, and we'll play here for a couple breaths. So let's just do some simple like shoulder push-ups. On an inhale, push into the elbows a lot. Let your neck get really long, lift up through the crown of your head. And then let your chest just sag. Let your shoulders come up by your ears. Your shoulder blades can squeeze together on your back. And then push into the elbows. Really extend the spine. Maybe even lean your head back a little bit. And then let the shoulders come up by the ears. The chest melts down. And do a few more just like that. If it feels like adding a little bit more movement to that, like a little shimmy, shake from side to side feels right, go right ahead. Next time you're pushing into your elbows and your spine is extended as long as it can possibly be, zipper your inner thighs a little bit towards the midline. Notice if that changes anything for you. Beautiful. Let the chest and the forehead come down. Slide your hands down by your low ribs, and then extend your right arm all the way out to the right. Shoulder, elbow, wrist making one long line. Use your left hand. Look to the left. Push yourself onto your left side body. Step your left foot behind your right leg. So a little bit of a different variation of a shoulder opener than we normally do. So big step with your left foot behind your right leg. The knee can point up. Yes. Good. We're going to transition to the same thing, second side. So left leg meets right leg, left arm extends out, right hand slides in, look to the right, push onto your left side body, step your right foot behind your left leg. Let your head come down. Oh. Big breath in and out. Unwind, right leg meets left leg. One more time, you can take it just as we just did, or make a goalpost shape with your right arm this time. Look to the left, step left foot behind right leg. Two more breaths here, and let it really feel good. When you're ready, come back to center, switch sides, straight arm or goalpost shape. Come back through center when you're ready. Slide both hands in towards your low ribs. As you inhale, push into the back of the head. Lift your chest, float your hands up off the mat. Let your shoulders kind of squeeze towards your ears and then slide down your back. Find a really neutral place for the shoulders. Hands down, shift your way back to child's pose. Widen the knees, big toes come together to touch. From child's pose, extend your arms out long, tent up on fingertips. About squeezing the arm bones towards each other. And then the only thing that moves here is your head. Nod your head. Yes, start to lift the head up and let the head drop. The next time you're looking up, look at your hands. Claw your fingertips into the mat. Pull back to drag yourself up to table. You can stay on fingertips or you can drop your palms to the mat. We're going to move through some cats and cows. We'll do this with a lot of articulation in the spine. So tilt your tailbone up. Stay really neutral in the middle back and the upper back. Tilt your tailbone up as high as it will go. And then let the articulation of the spine move towards the middle back. And then all the way towards the chest. You don't have as much range of motion in the upper back, so that's okay. Let your head lift at the very end. And then we'll reverse that. We'll start with the tailbone again. So think about tilting your tailbone down. Draw your belly in to support this. Middle spine starts to round. Push into your hands, arch into the upper back, gaze at the navel, big cat spine. Start with the tailbone as you come back to that arched shape. Arrive in cow spine. And exhale slowly, low back, middle back, upper back to cat. This time as you inhale, let your belly drop, tailbone lifts, belly drops, heart lifts. Extend your right leg back. So you're in a cow spine with your right leg back. As you exhale, coil the knee in towards the nose as you really exaggerate the arch in the spine, round. Inhale, send the leg back, let your belly drop, keep your arms strong. Chest lifts, gaze lifts. As you exhale, round into the back, knee to the nose. This time as you go towards cow spine, pause at neutral. Keep extending your right leg back. Keep the spine totally neutral this time as you coil the right knee towards the nose. No arch, no rounding in the spine. Inhale, send the right leg back. Exhale, knee in, spine stays neutral, please. Last one, inhale, send the leg back. Pause, turn the toes down, kick through the heel, reach through the crown of your head. Lengthen your left side body. Good, right knee meets left knee. Inhale, right fingertips reach up towards the sky. As you exhale, thread the needle. Let the right cheek come down. And your left arm can reach up and over for your right hip crease if that's accessible. And if your hand is touching your hip, move your hips in the direction of your hand. See if that changes anything for you. Feel free to peel your chest all the way open to the left. Last breath in and out here. Good. Left hand finds the mat. Right hand finds the mat. And start with your tailbone. Inhale, curl up. Middle back starts to arch, upper back arch. Tailbone curls in and down. Low back, middle back, upper back for cat. Curl the tailbone up, start to arch, 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 low back, mid back, upper back. Tailbone curls down. Right leg, left leg extends back as you make your way into a cow spine. So exaggerate here. Round into the back as the knee coils to the nose. Inhale, let the belly drop, heart lift, gaze up as you kick the left leg back. Exhale, coil in. Inhale, extend back. Last one like this, exhale, round. And then as you hit neutral from here, keep extending the left leg back. Don't let the spine arch. As you exhale, don't let the spine round as you coil the knee in towards the nose. Extend back without moving the spine. Coil in. Extend back. Left knee meets right knee. Inhale, left fingertips to the sky. And exhale, thread the needle. The right arm can sweep up and overhead or behind the low back. And if you're finding your hip or your hip crease, move your hips in the direction of your hand. And think about rolling your right shoulder onto the back so you're beginning to really peel the chest open. Nice upper back stretch. Last breath in and out. Right hand finds the mat. Left hand finds the mat. Stack your hips right over your knees. Anahatasana, heart melting pose. Walk your hands forward and wide. Let your chest melt back and down. Play with the action of curling your tailbone towards your knees. What that does to the shoulders, the upper back. Look up at your hands. Pretend you're clawing into fingertips. Drag yourself forward to a really long table and then lower slowly to the belly. Slide your hands in for baby cobra. Zipper the inner thighs in, lift your chest. Exhale, make your way to down dog. You can pass through table, you can pass through child's pose. Yeah, pedal out the heels. Nod and shake your head. Yes, no, maybe so. I don't know. Oh. And then look forward, please. Take a slow walk towards the top of the mat. Set your feet about hips width distance apart. Let your head hang. Put a little bend in your knees and just rock forward, back, side, side. Slowly start to roll your way up to stand. And sweep your arms out and up overhead. You can look up. As you exhale, carry your hands down through heart center, release them down at your sides. Let's do one sun salutation, just to kind of get the blood pumping. Inhale, arms to the sky. Little bend in the knees as you hinge and fold. Put your hands on your shins for this first round of Ardha Uttanasana. Ground through the inner feet. Push into the shins, send the crown of the head forward, shoulders slide back. Keep that spine neutral. As you exhale, soft knees, plant your palms, step back to plank pose. The way you lower is always up to you. I'm going to do a knees, chest, chin. I haven't done one of those in a long time. Make your way to the mat. Inhale to come up for a baby cobra. Maybe it's an up dog for you. You know where we're going. You know what to do. We'll meet in down dog. Big breath in from here. Open your mouth, sigh out. One more just like that. Big breath in. Look forward, walk or step forward. Inhale, find a halfway lift from here and fold, let it go. Inhale all the way to stand, arms to the sky. Exhale, carry your hands down together in front of your heart. Close your eyes, bring your chin towards your chest. Just take a moment and breathe. When we started class, I had to yell at Kitty Corns because she was scratching the chair, and she's not allowed to do that. But she doesn't self-regulate. So you don't have to yell at yourself for any reason, right? You just take in information about what you do that doesn't serve you and set an intention to be aware of that. And then this umbrella of yoga, you can practice non-harm, ahimsa, being intentional about directing your attention elsewhere. Arms or eyes. Exhale, let it go. Fold forward over the legs. Take a big breath in, hands to shins or fingertips on the floor. As you exhale, plant your palms. Stay with me here. Step just your right foot back to a lunge, please. Soften your right knee to the mat. Inhale, send your arms to the sky. Once you're in the low lunge, pad up if you need. And I'm touching my side body because I just need to know where I am in space. Otherwise, I have no idea. Your right side body kind of wraps back. See if you can ask it to wrap forward. And then as you exhale, bring your arms down to shoulder height. Cross your right arm across the body, and then hook the left elbow in front of the arm. So you're giving yourself a little bit of tension here. We did this last week. And then it's like a lever. You're lifting and lowering the arm. Just give your shoulder a nice floss in its socket, and then start to look over your right shoulder. And as you're pulling your right arm towards the left, let your whole right side body follow along. I totally did this wrong. We should be doing this with our left arm. Apologies. It's all right. Right hand down, left fingertips to the sky. I was like, why isn't this working out the way I said it was supposed to in my head? So you're in a twist here. Push into your right hand, lift out of your right shoulder. And then sweep your left hand down inside your left leg. Keep your right leg parallel, just as it is right now. Right fingertips to the sky, a little bit of balance. Ooh. Good. Exhale, both hands to the ground. Right toes tuck, right knee lifts as you exhale. Down dog split, left leg to the sky, up and back. Bend your knee, open your hip. As you exhale, coil your right knee, your left knee towards your nose, and then neutralize the spine. So remember, we did this in table. As you inhale, don't let your spine arch. Thread your left leg back. Don't let your spine round. Thread your knee towards your nose. One more. Good. Exhale, knee to nose. And then do push into the hands. Really arch the spine. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, arms rise. Crescent lunge. Exhale, arms to shoulder height. Hook your right elbow under your left elbow for eagle. Lift your elbows up, 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 up. Maybe start to arc the chest up, lean your upper body back. As you exhale, bring the elbows towards your knee and thread your arms back behind you like an airplane. Pinky finger spinning down. Push off your right foot. Catch a moment of like warrior three. Ooh. As you step your left foot to meet your right foot to meet your left foot. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift from here. Plant your palms. This time step your left foot back to a lunge. Soften your left knee down. Inhale, arms rise. And figure out where you are in space. Use your hands as needed. Arms to shoulder height. Left arm crosses across the body. Right elbow hooks in. And then you can lift and lower the arm. Oh, we're so different side to side. So you can put a little pressure of your left arm pushing out against your right arm as you're using a lot of pressure to kind of work your left arm in with your right arm. Start to look over the left shoulder. And then unhook, circle the left hand down, right arm up. Make this a twist. Right hand down, inside right foot. Left leg doesn't move, left fingertips to the sky. Push your arm against your leg, leg against your arm. Oh. Good, both hands down. Frame your right foot. Dog split. Exhale, right knee to nose. Find that neutral spine. And then inhale, don't let the spine arch, right leg threads back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, knee to nose, then push into the hands, really round into the upper back to step the right foot forward, arms to the sky. Arms lower to shoulder height, left elbow hooks under right elbow. Arc the upper body up and back as the arms. You can think about them like paralleling the ceiling. That might not happen. That's okay. And then as you exhale, lean forward, elbows towards knees, eventually thread the arms back. My arms are burning. Push off the left foot, catch a moment of an airplane. Before you step the left foot to meet the right foot, inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Plant the palms. Step your right foot back to a lunge. Inhale, arms rise. Right fingertips forward, left fingertips back. Little twist. Tap your right hand to your heart. Extend your right fingertips forward. Right hand touches your heart. Right fingertips reach forward. Right hand touches your heart. Start to lift your elbow up and back. Left hand reaches behind you. Find your right thigh. Turn this into a big thigh stretch. And then reach your right fingertips overhead. Oh, exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Frame your left foot. Keep your spine neutral from here. Left leg, one-legged plank pose, neutral spine. Look forward as you exhale. One leg stays lifted lower to the belly. Tops of both feet down. Inhale for your back bend. Down dog. Breathe in. Oh. Bring your thumbs to touch. Walk your feet wide. Now you can take step by step towards the top of your mat. Your feet will walk wide of your hands, or you can take a hop. And turn your toes ever so slightly out wide. Climb your hands up onto your thighs. Knees are bent. Push into your hands. Let your shoulders come up by your ears, just like we did in the beginning. And then really use your right hand to send the left thigh away as you dip your right shoulder in towards the midline, gaze over your left. Switch sides. Left shoulder dips in towards the midline. Gaze over your right. One more each side. Beautiful. Hands to the mat, hips to the sky. Keep your feet wide, turn your toes in, and just sway a little side to side. Toe heel your feet in towards center. Roll your way up to stand, arms to the sky. Exhale, dive right back down. Look up halfway. Step your left foot back to a lunge. Inhale, arms rise for crescent. Left fingertips reach forward, right fingertips thread back. Bend your elbow, tap your left hand to your heart. Inhale, extend. 3 more. Last one. Left hand stays on your heart. Tilt your elbow up. Reach your right hand behind you for your left thigh. Start to really arc, arc, arc. And then release your left fingertips up and back. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. Thread your right leg back for one-legged plank pose. Keep the inner thighs hugging in, belly drawn in. As you exhale, lower to the belly. Tops of both feet down, inhale. Lift your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Oh, thumbs touch. Feet can widen. Look forward, walk or step or maybe a little hop to the top of the mat, feet wide. This time bend your knees, sink your hips. Some variation of Malasana. You can stay right here and work the inner thighs open, or you can play with crow pose. Hands to the floor. Work your knees up onto the backs of the arms. Play, play, play. Let's see my crows here. Very nice, Casey. Very nice, everybody. Hands to the mat. Step, step, or float the feet back. Plank pose. And then we're gonna lower to the belly and turn onto your back. I'm gonna face you so you can hear me better. So when I was planning this class, you all know me well enough to know my favorite thing to do in class is play with the same thing in different orientations to gravity. And I will tell you that I expected doing this on your back to be a lot easier than it was. And I found it to be quite challenging. So you can let me know how you did. Okay, start with your knees bent, your feet flat on the floor, and then reach your arms up towards the sky like you were in plank pose, but now we're not weight bearing. So if you recall in the beginning of class, when we did a tabletop, we played with like really articulating the spine, and then we tried to hold the spine neutral. So the tendency for me, at least here, is to arch the spine off the mat. So keep the low back connected to the mat, draw the knees up, come into like a tabletop. And then without letting the spine move, draw your right knee in toward your nose, and then straighten the leg. Right knee in towards the nose. Low belly stays in and down. Straighten the leg. It's hard. Right knee in towards the nose. Straighten the leg. Stay. Kick through your heel. Draw your low belly down. Lengthen your left waist. Okay, rest. Feet down, arms wide. Was that hard for you, Christopher? Okay. All right, second side, arms straight up. Knees come up into that table. And then draw the left knee in towards the nose. Straighten the leg like you were kicking it back behind you, but low belly stays in and down. Left knee in. Straighten, kick through the heel. Knee in. Straighten the leg. Last one, relax your neck, relax your jaw. Kick the leg away. Pause here, lengthen your right side body. Draw your belly in and down. Good, and then hug your knees in. Give yourself a squeeze. Invitation to do that whole thing again, or we can play with what it looked like with both legs straight when we did the pulses in plank pose. Okay, so totally up to you. You can start with knees bent and do work with that table position. Just a little core work. We're not really working up to anything. I just do like to create muscle memory in this way. So options: knees bent, arms to the sky, or legs straighten out in front of you, right? So you're thinking about keeping that plank shape. The low belly is drawing in and down. So right knee comes in. And then as I do that, my left leg automatically comes up. Right leg straightens. Ooh. Right knee in. Straighten. My left leg is hovering off the mat, and it's very hard for me. Just do two more. Good. And then the next time your right leg is straight, pause there. If your left knee's bent, perhaps challenge yourself by straightening the leg a little bit. Oh, and then hug it in. I don't know if you could hear my voice shaking. It's very hard for me. And then we'll do the last side and we'll start to take it down. So option to keep the knees bent in table, option to straighten the legs. The first time I did that, as the left knee drew in, the right leg automatically came up off the mat. Just do 5. Straighten the leg, bend the knee, and really play with keeping that spine in neutral. And the next time your left leg is straight out in front of you, you can stay there. You can play with adding the right leg. I don't get very far before I start shaking and my voice is cracking. And then pull the knees in. Oh, give yourself a squeeze, roll around on the low back. Good. Rock. Or just flip over because you're facing the top of your mat. Flip over. Take a little Sphinx pose to stretch the front part of your body, just like we did at the beginning. Zip the inner thighs in. Feels different now. Keep the chest lifting, slide your hands at the low ribs. You're already in baby cobra. If you want to use your hands to push the chest up, keep your shoulders on your back body. Exhale, come to dog. Step your right foot forward. Circle your left heel down, climb your right forearm onto your right thigh. Left fingertips float up for extended side angle pose. Use your left leg a lot. Send the back of the thigh back. Yes, that's it. Breathe here. Release any tension in your neck. Make space between the right ear and the right shoulder. And then push your right leg straight. Left hand to left thigh, right fingertips float up and back. Reverse your triangle. Triangle pose, right fingertips lead the way. Reach, reach, reach. Right hand to left shin or anywhere it will reach. Left hand towards the sky. You can arc the arm overhead, give yourself that QL stretch. Oh. Good. Bend into your right knee from here. Come up to warrior two. Dig into the feet. Left leg is working as hard as the right leg. Stay bent in your right knee. Flip your right palm. Sail up and back. Radiant warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Frame out your right foot. Right leg up and back to the sky. This time, bend your knee, open your hip. And if you want to take a flip dog or some variation of a flip dog, go right ahead. And flip your way back through center. You have a moment here. Any form of movement or stillness would be wonderful. And we'll switch to the second side. Just step your left foot between your palms. Spin your right heel down. Extended side angle setup. Left forearm to left thigh, right fingertips sail up. Use your right leg a lot. Back of the thigh moves back. Good. Push your left leg straight. Right hand finds the right thigh. Left arm sails up and back for a reverse triangle pose. Keep your right leg active. It's working. Let the space that you're creating in your left side body inform your triangle pose. Reach your left fingertips beyond your left toes. Let the arm, the hand lower down to the shin. And float your right arm up. Breathe here. You're making so much space in the body. Fill it with breath. Last breath or two here. Yeah, no rush now. Before you come up, bend into your left knee. Really protect the bottom of the leg. Warrior two. Stay bent in the left leg. Flip your left palm, sail up and back. Bend deeper into the left knee as you reach further back with the left fingertips. Exhale. Cartwheel the hands down to frame your left foot. Left leg up and back to the sky. Bend your knee, open your hip. You can stay here. You can flip your dog over. Make your way back to center. Last call for vinyasa. Make your way to child's pose. And just take a moment to breathe. If child's pose doesn't work for you, you can come to your belly, just like where we started. And when you feel complete with child's pose, come to sit up. Swing the legs in either direction, doesn't matter to me. Make your way to a comfy seat. We'll do our hip opener seated tonight, depending on the condition of your hips. You can cross your right shin in front of your left shin, or you can stack your right shin on top of your left shin. In front of or on top of. I don't know if I said that right the first time. Okay. And sit firmly on both sits bones. Choose your leg situation. And then fold forward if you have space to do that. If you're in a square pose and it doesn't leave you a lot of room to fold forward, that's okay too. And the hip opener is what we're after here. And just breathe. And resist the temptation to fidget, to fix anything, to adjust. Just being with things as they are sometimes is the hardest challenge we take on in this practice. And I've been meditating a lot on and listening to a lot on like this intersection of yoga and justice and one of the questions that keeps coming back to me is like, how are we working towards social justice if we're just accepting things as they are? And I will share with you what I've come up with, even though this is kind of a work in progress. Um, by accepting the way things are doesn't mean that we aren't working towards something, right? Like we are still in a hip stretch, even though we're accepting the state of our hip as it is. And I think that that's what I've come up with now is there's a difference between doing nothing and expecting that things should be different, right? So that's as far as I've gotten so far, that we can fight against the things that we think are important without expecting them to be different right away. So take a final breath or two here. And slowly make your way out. You can release your hands behind you. And then whatever feels good here. Some people like to do like a reverse tabletop. I just sometimes like to windshield wiper the legs. And then we'll do the second side, and it's going to be a long side because the first side was a long side. And what worked on side one might not be the exact same thing that's going to work on side two. So give yourself plenty of room to explore, to figure this out. And then fold forward over yourself. Breathe and feel. Breathe and feel and allow. Breathe and feel and stay. Last few breaths. And start to make your way up. Oh. Release your hands behind you and untangle the legs. Oh. With legs straight out in front of you and knees bent ever so slightly, wrap your arms underneath the legs. Let your head just drop between the knees and take a forward fold, symmetrical forward fold. So you're creating a barrier from your legs kind of flopping out too wide with the arms. Let your spine round. And let your heels slide away from you as it feels good. Release the arms, roll up to sit. Keep the knees bent as you keep rolling all the way onto your back. And slide the feet in, knees towards the sky, arms widen. Drop the knees over to the left. Pick the knees up, drop them over to the right. Knees come through center. Give yourself a squeeze, a hug, roll on the low back. And then set yourself up for Shavasana. If there's anything else you would like to do before you make your way to final rest, take your time. And get settled and resettled. And take a couple really exaggerated breaths. If there's any place that you notice and doesn't want to let go, is having trouble relaxing, send your attention there, send your breath there. And when it's right for you, let go of all effort. To the best of your ability, surrender completely into the mat, into the floor beneath you, into the foundation beneath your home. Into the firm earth that supports us all. Layer upon layer upon layer of support. You don't have to do anything to hold yourself up right now. Let your shoulders relax. Let the corners of your eyes soften. And the space between the eyebrows starts to widen. Notice your hairline getting softer back of your skull heavier. Just rest. Receive a deeper inhalation through your nose and let out a soft sigh. And take a couple more breaths as smoothly and sweetly as you possibly can, just to bring yourself very gently back. You can start to move and let go of stillness. And some of your small movements get bigger. And eventually journey up to a seat. And from your seated position, gather your hands together in front of your heart. Bow your chin in towards your chest. And just to honor the wisdom within, the work that you do to access and live the wisdom you bring to yourself. Thank you so much for sharing your practice, for being here. Such a pleasure every week.